All right, welcome in everybody. Joe and Mike here, and I got to bring Mike in to the screen here because I did not do that before the show started because I'm a dope.
Hi.
There we go. Uh, just so I can get to the same width. There we go. There he is. And it's not the full moon to next week, or
Right?
I think, because I'm still feeling the effects of the people with the new moon.
Ah,
Because I told you how I feel like the people at the new moon are just plain old nasty,
yeah.
and the full moon's when people go goofy. But that's
They've been
just
known to
me.
do that, yes.
Well, since we're talking a little bit of science here tonight with the daylight saving time this week, started Saturday night. The next full moon is the worm moon.
The worm moon?
Yeah.
Why is it called the worm of the moon?
Uh, they have a name for every single one of them.
Gotcha.
Let's see. And there will be a lunar eclipse on the 13th and the 14th, late 13th, early 14th, which will be seen in the east and the western hemisphere. I don't know why it's called the worm moon.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. The worm moon nickname may have come from the earthworms typically found as spring nears, according to the Old Farmer's Almanac. Other research suggests the name may date back to the writings from the 1760 about worms or beetle larvae coming out from bark as trees thaw from the winter.
Interesting.
I know. Useless information as
Yeah.
always. So,
Yeah.
but we're gonna bring up a couple of things tonight. We're going to talk daylight savings time. We're going to get away from sports a little bit, but not too far because we have other things to talk about here, like um, NFL free agency. The tampering period began today. Because you can't sign until I think it's 4 p.m. on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But you can tamper, you can mess with the products. You can squeeze the Charmin. Remember those commercials?
Please don't squeeze the Charmin. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we got all that, and got a lot more there as well. Some of the things that coming up here. We got the um, as the scroll comes up again because I forgot what I put on there already. The legal tampering period. Oh, and this one could be classified as the stupid shit that I saw, but I'm not classifying as that because it was actually more made the regular news cycle. Apparently, track and field is a contact sport,
Apparently.
and that will be interesting as well. And we'll add a couple things here. Garrett Cole is out for the year. We'll talk about that and laugh at the Yankees because the Yankees are the Yankees, even though they're not they're not spending like drunken sailors like they used to.
That's true.
But we're here. And we're going to be having some fun here on this Monday night here. The first of 4 nights for yours truly. Apologies for the Thursday night show because I just wasn't feeling it Thursday. One of those rare nights where I'm just like, just leave me alone. I don't feel like doing anything after a rough day of work. So I was like, you know what? Perfect time to start getting ready for Also Eligible.
Ah, right.
And by the way, I'm kind of out of that cold streak, but still kind of in it at the same time.
Hmm.
Because I did have 3 winners in 6 races over the weekend.
Wow. That's 500.
And if I had gone 4 out of 6, I could have been meatloaf because 2 out of 3 ain't
Two
bad.
out of three ain't bad, right?
But, we still had a lot of wrong guesses or wrong picks. So,
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because last week you weren't hearing the sound, so you didn't hear this.
Who the fuck is that guy?
You didn't hear this.
Oh, my balls!
You didn't hear this.
You said balls.
And
Penis so small.
No, I didn't. I hear him now.
yeah, I think I know what I have to do so you can hear the sound drops and when you'll hear the video and all that. And also, who knows? Maybe we get somebody on the show every once in a while, and I have to do a 3-way screen. But it's not a 3-way that I would prefer. But
No.
now if it's 2 chicks at the same time, it's something different. But but anyways, so a lot to talk about here. And if you're watching on X, you're watching on In the Bleachers YouTube, my YouTube, or my Twitch at Joe Quills, feel free to chime in. Just to let you know, next month we are going to be streaming onto my Facebook page as well.
Oh, cool.
So that will be the Joe Quills Show page.
Gotcha.
Facebook.com/Joe Quills Show. So we're expanding, and what we're trying to do is, we're like, hey kid, you want some candy? You want some candy? Hey little boy, you want some candy?
Right?
It'd be kind of like that, where I bring you in.
Mm-hmm.
I try to get you to switch over to Twitch, so I can get my numbers up, so I can get affiliates, I can make a couple extra bucks on the side. Well, a couple extra pennies on the side.
Right.
But that's I'm going to be expanding even more come April, because of the fact that I have to have the page available for 60 days before I can stream to it. So that's why.
Okay.
And just because I can do this now, all of my socials will be posted on the Twitch page. There we go. And I don't know why. Do you see the chat on your page?
Yes.
I don't know why, but the Eevee monks. Now this is Eevee monks. These whatever they're supposed to be, skull heads or whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, the colon // on Eevee monks comes up as a skull head.
That's weird.
For whatever reason. I don't know
Right.
what it is, but whatever. I mean, it doesn't bother me that much. It's just weird seeing that when I spam something, I have to look to see, did that come up right on my Twitch feed? But yeah, it does. So,
It does.
but it is what it is. So, but so Mike, first of all, how'd you like the sun setting at 7:00 today?
Oh, loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, you were able to find your car before
When
you left the apartment today.
I knew where to make a left, make a right, go straight. Yes. Not that I wasn't straight. I'm just saying going straight.
Well, if you swing that way, it's not a problem.
Well, the first time Pat would know about it. Anyway, so yeah, let's go. Right? Good. Yeah.
But, I'm sure you got to a point, it's like, oh shit, it's dark. Where am I going?
Yep, right when I got on the boulevard. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay. But that's okay.
Yeah, so, and of course, they didn't turn out the lights on you.
No, they didn't, which is a good thing.
So, did you lose an hour of sleep yesterday morning?
No, he was hiding under my bed, so I did find him. Yeah.
Okay.
We were playing the game of hide and seek.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to think of something funny to say. Nothing was coming to me. It's one of those days, people. Let me tell you. It's where the witty banter is not going to be coming from yours truly for whatever reason. Think of it as erectile dysfunction of the mind.
Oh. Why did you put that image in my head? Why?
Would you rather be constipation of the mind?
No. Oh, no.
Well,
Strike two. No, neither one.
Well, also, I did get my prostate checked the other day.
Yeah.
I was deeply touched.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So now we get the sun setting after 7 o'clock. Now, I think it's set at 7 o'clock today,
Well,
or just about.
about that. Yeah, 7:03, but it's 7 o'clock. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, 7:03.
But I noticed it says sunset at 7:03. It didn't start getting actually dark until 15, 20 minutes later.
Yeah,
So it's like that 7:03 is kind of deceiving.
yeah. And the thing is, me personally, with this,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the fact that it is, it does get later now. Of course, we have a lot of soft Americans. Now, I understand some people do have problems with time changes and stuff like that, but not every single person.
True.
I mean, it's kind of like when these major corporations do a survey, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, um, you know, Burger King, McDonald's. You know, wait. I actually have some money in my wallet for once,
Oh,
so not as much as I thought. Oh yeah, I know why. Okay, I forgot I had to do the laundry. Corporation comes along and says, "Hey, make it look like we're the best."
exactly.
Oh, I actually saw today, and I might have to show it to you later if I can find it. They did an instant replay in San Jose last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
One of the fans goes towards the referee from behind the glass and does like this.
I saw that. I saw that on Facebook. And the rest of him, but he's offering $100. I saw that.
You know what? I now know where the money, what happened with the money, because $20 went to a lottery ticket,
Okay.
and the other 20 went downstairs to load up my laundry cart. So,
Gotcha.
because I have the lottery ticket right here, because it was a winner.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Nice.
So, use it for next week or the week
Yeah.
after, or if we venture somewhere,
It's a good chance.
because I am off next Tuesday.
It's a real good chance.
So we'll see. But anyways, the one thing is, I just think that daylight savings time only affects you like a couple of days. Now, if the U.S. government really wanted to screw with Americans and really make them discombobulated, they could have had it going from Sunday night into Monday morning.
That would have messed with him. Yeah.
But, they were nice. They said, all right, well, you know, screw the Catholics. They, you know, some people are getting screwed. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say it. But, except for those that want to go to 6:30, 7 o'clock mass, whatever the first mass is here, or wherever you go to church. Oh, we lose that hour sleep. You don't lose an hour sleep unless you intentionally have to get up at a god awful hour.
That's true.
You actually wake up an hour later.
Yeah.
Kind of like in November, you'll wake up an hour earlier.
Yeah.
Or in my case, you just don't get the hell up.
Is that what happened? Okay.
Well, but I did find out one thing Sunday morning.
What's that?
It didn't happen on this one because I was playing around with that in the afternoon because I was using that computer because I have one of my Spotify accounts hooked up to that computer.
Right.
And what I do is I play it through the speaker behind me, the Google Home there.
Okay.
So I was playing it on there. So little by little, we were, and so I said, "Hey, Google, what time is it?" And it said whatever time it was.
Right.
Now, when I woke up Sunday morning, the typical wake up at 7 o'clock or something like that, because it knew that, people were going to start asking that, except for the old people, they'll call 911 or whatever. um, my Google Home in the bedroom said it was 6:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Really?
Hmm. But this one just said 2 something p.m. It didn't say Eastern Daylight Time. I think because these are both on the same Google accounts, I said, fuck you, you ain't getting that satisfaction.
Right?
But yeah, we're now in Eastern Daylight Time, and the sun doesn't set till 7 o'clock. We're almost at the point, and probably in another couple of weeks, I won't have to turn the light on until 7:30 when I'm done work.
Nice.
But if you think about it, we are in a way conserving energy because we're just pushing the energy usage to later in the day.
That's true.
We go to bed, if you go to bed at the same time and all that. But that's just me. But I did see something interesting here for those that are wanting to keep everything standard time. Personally, if you just want standard time, move to Arizona, move to Hawaii,
Yep.
and kindly rotate on this.
Yep.
But that's just me. But I did see something interesting here, and we'll kind of get away from the science and get to sports and stuff here. But I got the wrong mouse here because I got the laptop here too, monitoring the chat room as well. And yes, for those that are watching on Twitch, we are going to talk sports tonight. Don't worry. Like I said before, taking the cue from my good friend Jason Bean, who called the Tampa Bay Derby this past weekend. He said if it's 51% horse racing, it's a horse racing podcast. If we are 50.00001% of the time talking sports, this is a sports stream.
He's right.
So here we go. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me bring you back in here. And I have to do this every week. So, yes, I'm bringing it up. Don't worry.
I'm not worried.
Okay, so there you go. This I saw today on AccuWeather. And you see some of the times that are on there. I might have to zoom in some more here. It's 200%. If you can't see it, then the hell with you. Like here's some of the goofy times that the sun will be coming up here. Sunrise, New York City, and I think this is right around the time of the beginning of summer when we have the longest day,
Right.
Longest daylight time.
Right.
Because technically, yesterday was the shortest day of the year. It was only 23 hours.
That's true. Technically.
4:25 a.m. sunrise, 7:30 sunset. Washington, D.C., 4:43 sunrise, 7:37 sunset. Also remember, when you go further south, the time that gets added for total daylight is not as much as up here in Seattle because they get 16 hours of sunlight in a day.
Yes, they do.
And that's because they're closer to the North Pole. And if you got further up into, like, let's say, Edmonton, up into Alaska, like northern Alaska, they got 24-hour sunlight for a couple of months. But, 4:26 in Minneapolis, 8:03 sunset, 4:15 sunrise, 7:27 sunset, Denver, 4:32, 7:31. You see some of the things that they do there because the further west you go, the later the sunrise and the later the sunset, but also the further south, the less variance you have in adding and losing time on the sun. So that's why, like, for example, if you were to watch a Phillies game down in Clearwater the first couple of weeks of the season,
right?
If they had a night game, if the game starts at 6 o'clock, there's still sunlight there because here's us here, they're further west.
Right.
And also, they're also closer to the equator, so they get more sunlight in the day this time of the year than we do. But we turn it around in a couple of weeks because of spring and all that stuff. So, but anyway, but here's the thing. Me personally, I don't want to see the sun rising at 4:25 in the morning or 4:30. That's one of the reasons why I'm against daylight saving time. I also like the sun setting at 8:30 in the summertime.
Yeah, I like that too.
But I just think that and this one person dropping knowledge with Heidi, spring forward and leave it there. Well, there's a problem with that as well. Like for example, like Detroit, if you leave it like that, for example, Detroit, because they're on the far western edge of the Eastern time zone, their sunrise won't be till almost 9 o'clock in the dead of winter, and kids will be going to school in darkness.
That's not good.
So that's just me. But that's some of the goofy stuff with daylight savings time. Norbeck Carroll, I want sunlight later in the evening, not at 4:30 a.m. I agree. I'd rather spring forward and never fall back. Yeah, everybody wants to stay on daylight savings time indefinitely. I mean, now if you really want to confuse somebody, as I'll stop sharing my screen here and go back to the main screen here, how you really mess with somebody, you can do one of two things. I did this once at my old house. You remember the old clock that was on the wall?
Yeah.
I put that forward an hour and the microwave back an hour, or vice versa. It's like a mess with my family.
You won't do that, yeah.
What time is it? I don't know.
Wow.
I heard in Poland it's spring back, fall forward, but I mean, I just think in a way America is soft, but I mean, if you want to get rid of it, get rid of it, but just pay for the consequences of the sun rising at 4:30 in the morning.
I can remember some days a few years ago where I had to get up for work to get ready to go to work at 5:30. It was sunrise at 5:30.
Yeah, and the first rays of dawn hit. You can start seeing that about 4:30. Because trust me, I would stay up all night, even on those days off that I would be working overnights.
That's just weird. Like 5:30 in the morning, I'm getting up and it's sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so everybody I know has their opinion. A lot of people are like, "Oh, just get rid of it." I know Captain Orange wants to get rid of it just because he just wants to be an asshole. And by the way, the Eagles did accept the invite to go see Agent Orange at the White House.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
they're a better team.
Whatever. I couldn't care less one way or the other. I'm sure there's going to be some people that don't go or whatever.
Of course.
But he thinks he's infallible because he survived 2 impeachments. Whatever. No, you just weren't going to. Even if you, it's all about the numbers, and I don't think we'll see enough people cross party lines, no matter who gets impeached, Democrat or Republican or independent or whatever. So it's just in the numbers, and the numbers aren't there. So, when somebody says, "Oh, they didn't remove him from office," it's not because of Democrat or Republicans protecting one another or stuff like that. It's just that the numbers are never going to be there.
That's true.
Unless you get a real bloodbath in one of the elections for Congress or whatever. But that's just me. So, anyways, enough about that. Let's get to sports here. And I am keeping this up here because I'm trying to keep track of everything here that's going on here. And this is updating as we go along. So I might be looking at this, and next thing you know, the page will refresh on me. I'm like, you mother effer. But did you see Who was the guy who was the Eagle that signed with New England? Milton Williams.
Yes.
It was originally announced he signed with Carolina.
Really?
So shades of Frank Gore, the Eagles legend. Remember, he agreed with the Eagles, and then he ended up going to Indianapolis.
Yeah, I remember that. Don't remind me.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so he ended up going, ended up changing gears and went there. So
I like him as a run stopper.
yeah, and you know what? The one thing I will say about that, and I'll say the same thing about Josh Sweat when we get there. They're not in the division, so that's good.
Yeah.
Um, let me see here. I'm just scrolling down here, still scrolling down. Um,
Well, one thing about Fangio, he had put in some of the rookies, like defensive tackle, defensive end, so it's not like they don't have any experience. They're just going to start having more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Justin Fields won't be meeting the Jets media right away because he is in Dubai right now.
Oh, he's on vacation.
Yep.
Okay.
And by the way, the Dubai World Cup is in 3 weeks. Not that I look at those races because the international programs are a shit show. But I'm just scrolling through here because I printed some things up. It was all the same stuff. I was like, I can. Evan Ingram, he was released by Jacksonville. He was visiting with the Denver Broncos today. Grady Jarrett got released by the Falcons. J.C. Horn becomes the highest paid defensive back in NFL history with a 4-year extension. He gets $100 million, $70 million guaranteed. It could reach a maximum of 108.
Mm.
Khalil Mack reached an agreement on a 1-year contract with the Chargers.
Okay, he's staying for one more year. Okay.
Yeah, so 1 more year for him. I'm just reading here. This is from about 10 hours ago. There's not been significant movement towards a new deal between the Eagles and Mekhi Becton. He has a key advocate in offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland would like to return, but the money has to be right on both sides. Becton will have a chance to test the market. That's according to Tim McManus. Hassan Reddick ended up with Tampa Bay. So the Eagles got the best of that Jets deal.
Yeah, they did.
Chris Godwin, 3-year deal to stay with Tampa Bay. Just when you thought he was going to hit the free agent market.
I think he wanted to stay with Tampa Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Braxton Berrios goes to Houston, $2 million deal. Jair Alexander remains a member of the Packers. The source said Brian Gutekunst is not moving him yet. It remains to see what happens if they don't trade him, whether that will lead to his outright release. Washington Commanders bolstered their defensive line with a 3-year deal for Javon Kinlaw. He was with the Jets last year.
Okay. It's going to be fun playing them the next couple of years, 2-3 years. They're up and coming. They really are.
Yeah. The the Rams have a new backup quarterback, which is an old face, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's back in LA.
He went to the Rams?
He went back to the Rams, yeah.
Wow.
So this is what I was saying before. This was around noontime today.
Okay.
I saw it on Pat McAfee show because I was watching on YouTube on my TV.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina Panthers are working to finalize a deal with former Eagles defensive tackle Milton Williams. And I know people that are watching, he signed with New England. I know that. We're just scrolling through the timeline here. Carlton Davis III, the former Lions cornerback, signed with the Patriots. Former Eagle Isaiah Rodgers is gambling on himself, pun intended. 2-year, $15 million deal with the Vikings, $8 million guaranteed. Because he was banned for a year for gambling. That's why I said that.
Got you.
DJ Reed agreed to a 3-year deal with the Lions.
Didn't Kansas City lose their top offensive lineman?
They traded him to Chicago.
That was dumb.
Thune got traded. Well, they signed an offensive lineman today.
Oh, okay. He still was the best one they had, though, right?
Yeah. Elijah Mitchell, the former Niners running back, he signed with the Chiefs.
I saw that.
Former Eagle Derek Barnett reached a 1-year deal to return to the Texans.
I can see that.
Now, I said that he was close with the Panthers.
Mhm.
Milton Williams does end up with New England. That was about an hour later. $26 million per season for Williams. Sam Darnold, 3 years, $100.5 million.
To Seattle, right?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing with that. It's not exactly, in my opinion, a totally going to kill your cap because, the top quarterbacks, I mean, what did Josh Allen sign for? About 60 a year? Something in that range? So he got about 60. Darnold gets about 34 a year here. So $55 million guaranteed. So it isn't like, obviously this is about mid-range for a quarterback who, dare I say, a 6-year, 7th-year guy, however long he's been in the league, a breakout year.
Yeah, but who would you rather pay, Josh Allen or Sam Darnold?
Well, Josh Allen wasn't going anywhere.
Sure, but who would you rather pay?
But also, you can manipulate the salary cap as well with signing bonuses and stuff like that. So that $60 million a year isn't that bad.
Yeah, but based on a resume, I would go with Josh Allen versus
Yeah.
Sam Darnold for his one breakout year versus the whole, resume of year after year after year. I'll go with Josh Allen.
I'll tell you why I take Josh Allen. He at least consistently gets to the playoffs and chokes.
Yes, yes, he does.
Sam Darnold chokes in the regular season.
Yep.
So, and then he got a taste of the playoffs, and we saw what happened.
Yeah, we did.
We got to see how much of a fluke the NFC North was. Nick Mullins was in Minnesota as the backup. He's now with the Jaguars, 2-year deal to be the backup there. Jaguars signed Hunter Long and Johnny Munt, 2 tight ends. No, not that type of tight end, Mike Ear. And Eric Murray, defense cornerback per league source. Jets signed Justin Fields 2 for $40. Now, I kind of like this deal because if they want to mold the new quarterback this year, even if it's not a first-round quarterback,
right?
You can slowly break them in if you want to, or if you get somebody earlier in the first round, But because $20 million isn't that much.
No, it's not.
Sam Darnold got 33.
Right.
But and I think it brings a whole different type of a quarterback where Aaron Rodgers, ayahuasca boy and conspiracy theorist and smartass. I mean, you get the idea. But I kind of like that move because I think Justin Fields would have been the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh, you know, but you signed Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson got the job on his name, and he
Sure.
actually did an okay job there too. You can't fault him for that. It's just, I mean, the saying: if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have any.
That's true.
So, but Pittsburgh might have a little dilemma. Or is Russell Wilson a free agent, or is he?
He is a free agent.
Okay, so that explains Aaron Rodgers gaining interest in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's just a matter of can he throw it through the wind in Pittsburgh because that's one of the windiest stadiums with the open end and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just hoping that the quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator for the Jets help Justin Fields. Because he did one thing when he was with Pittsburgh, he had to win a record before they sat him down. So he showed you what he can do.
Yeah.
He just needs someone to have him continue that same path of, improving himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Josh Sweat goes to Arizona. It was 4 for $76 million, $41 million guaranteed. He gets to go back to under Jonathan Gannon,
Yeah.
who was the defensive coordinator here in 2021 and 2022. And also, he probably would have gotten even more money if he was voted MVP like he should have been.
That's true.
Because I voted for Josh Sweat for MVP because you know how in the beginning of fourth quarter they say, vote for your MVP now at MVP, NFL.com/MVP or some shit.
Right.
So I voted. I mean, I only did one vote because I wasn't sitting there all night watching the game and enjoying the fact it was 40-6 or whatever it was at the time. I wanted to enjoy that it's a blowout. It's one of those rare instances that a championship game isn't in doubt because, we can't have nice things too often in Philadelphia. You know that. I know that. But
you know what? That's because we're Philadelphians. we can't have nice things out. Yeah. Yeah. So
nothing's easy.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But
you got the shirt to prove it. 41-33. You got that shirt.
I almost had a hospital stay with it as well because my heart was racing.
Yeah.
Joshua Palmer goes to the he goes to the Bills, 3 years, $36 million. Trying to see anything else here that's worth mentioning here because a lot of this I'm skipping over. The Washington Commanders got Laramie Tunsil from the Texans.
Okay.
And they also got his pot mask as well.
Did they?
Well, you know why he dropped in the draft, right?
What?
The afternoon of the draft, they showed him with a gas mask on smoking pot. But that was years ago, so
right.
He reformed himself.
Did BG finally retire?
I would think so because of the fact that he retore his tricep.
And he played the entire game, Q.
Mm-hmm. But he had the brace on too.
Yeah, but he still played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just him stepping on the field was enough motivation for the rest of the team.
Yep. Willis Reed, Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 1 second. You see it.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Bye-bye.
Right?
You just played F around and find out. You just found out. Jets tendered safety Tony Adams. And here was a trade that came, once again, another one of those coming out of nowhere things here, which, kind of makes sense. Because I think that for the Eagles, depending on what Dorian Thompson Robinson makes, Eagles traded Kenny Pickett to the Browns for a fifth round pick and Dorian Thompson Robinson. Um, he is making. Yeah, that was a cat move because Dorian Thompson Robinson, or DTR, as if you feel like calling him that, feel free. He's only making $1,030,000. No, not Kenny Pickett Robinson, you dumbass. Kenny Pickett is making $2.6 million for the last year of his rookie contract before he goes into the club option, which I am guessing, unless he really impresses them, whatever, he will probably be a free agent after next year. So
Yeah.
So the Eagles have 2 years of control on DRT or DTR.
DTR, yeah.
DRT, Joe Dirt, who gives a fuck. So, you get like a little bit of wiggle room, but not much. But you also get a second year with him. So he's on his third year of a 4-year contract before he becomes a free agent. He probably can sit there as the 3. Maybe have a contest for that second quarterback position. I think McKee's would win that second.
I think Tanner will, yeah.
Yeah, he'll win that easily.
Yep.
But if you get into a situation where you need a third string quarterback, you can revert back to a little bit of the Jalen Hurts running because DTR is a running quarterback.
Okay.
At least I think he is. But he hasn't played much anyway, so. So that was there. Josh Dobbs, the rocket scientist quarterback, he signed a deal with the Patriots. So he's going to be backing up there. The Rams plan to release Cooper Kupp when the new season starts on Wednesday if they're unable to find a trade partner.
I saw that.
The news came after Kupp in early February. In early February, the Rams were attempting to trade him after 8 seasons. That he didn't like the decision. The Super Bowl 56 MVP said on social media at the Times, the Rams told him they would be seeking a trade immediately and will be working with me and my family to find the right place to continue competing for championships. Well, if he wants to compete for championships and doesn't mind being the third wide receiver, come to you. But we know he would go way over the cap. So
he would, yeah.
Zach Wilson, he goes back to his MILF hunting ways. He goes to Miami.
So he's backing up Tua.
Yep. He may get some play time because, Tua every once in a while has a flirtation with Polish citizenship. Trying to see anything else here. Darius Slayton stays with the Giants for a 3-year deal, $36 million.
Why?
It's just a matter of who they have for the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just Tommy Cutlets. He signed yesterday, I believe.
Okay.
Michael Gallup will visit the Commanders. He's coming out of retirement. Um, New England Patriots signed Mac Hollins to a 2-year deal. The only reason why I mentioned him, he was doing all that goofy shit with coming into the game with different outfits. Like one day he came in as Fred Flintstone and all that shit.
Right.
It never comes in with shoes on.
Right.
I would have loved to seen him try to do that with Bill Belichick as a head coach.
Oh, that would not have happened.
But it'll be interesting if he does do it with his with the only person on the Bill Belichick tree that has actually done something in coaching, and that is Mike Vrabel.
Yep.
Javonte Williams is now with the Cowboys, 1 year, $3 million. I kind of like that move. I think Javonte Williams got ridden out of town by Sean Payton.
Yeah. Because wasn't he their leading rusher for Denver last year?
I think 2 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
He was a second-round draft pick of the Broncos. His role diminished some over the past 2 seasons. He still led the team in carries and rushing yards last year. There you go.
Yep.
But he also got caught up in a Broncos running game that Sean Payton, had called frustrating overall, with the team unable to find the right rotation among its backs. Now, Rico Dowdle, he is still a free agent. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last season with the Cowboys.
We were all, that would be Cowgirls to us always.
Was it Drake Greenlaw that walked off the field? Or am I confusing with somebody else?
That sounds familiar.
Let me see here. Niner walked off field. No, that was Devondre Campbell.
Okay.
See, the good thing is I can always just pull up an extra tab and do a quick search for you. Because I am a little bit of everything. I'm a jackass of all trades.
You want to talk about the greatest steal in Browns history?
Yeah. Let's see. So, new Jets quarterback will play position like no other in franchise history, huh?
What?
Yeah, I know. Fields averages 50.2 yards rushing per game in 4 years. The only player with the higher average is Lamar Jackson. I probably have to read the article, and I'm not going into that.
Gotcha.
Seahawks made a splash in free agency with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, they did.
I think that's going to be a bad news.
Yeah.
Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback.
Yeah.
He is going to be released by the Niners.
I like him.
33 years old, though.
Yeah. He's a good fullback, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Eagles tried to work on a fullback setup there for a while. But I think they had that one guy who I have to bring it up here because the guy that hurt his knee, I think he actually hurt it in practice. Here it is, Bane Summerin. They were actually using him more on the offensive side than on the defensive side.
Okay.
But the thing is, because he has a linebacker number 57,
Right.
he had to declare himself eligible every single play because he was wearing 57. Because he couldn't change his number because it got too far into the year.
Right.
But usually what happens is with these rules, with the schedules and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they usually, if you're a superstar player, especially now since they gave the players a year where they could change their numbers freely
Right.
because of the new number format. Um, if you're a superstar player and you want to change your number, you have to buy all the other jerseys that are in the pro shop around the country.
Really?
Mhm.
Huh.
It's to prevent them from changing numbers and stuff.
Gotcha.
But Eagles signed Zach Bond last week. That was we'll see how good he is this year. But he was great. We'll see if he's the same player he is. Because now he's set up pretty much for life.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, you know, Saquon Barkley got extended.
Much deserved.
I mean, a little surprising, but you're pretty much. I mean, the way I look at it, it's $20 million
Mm-hmm.
for those final couple of years.
Right.
Actually, I can. And by the way, I'm using spottrack.com, SPOTRAC, for those that are wondering about the. Um, and for some reason, it is not coming up here.
But Barkley is a consummate teammate.
Yeah.
He didn't think about any individual stats. He was just thinking about the team.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he had one goal in mind going to the Super Bowl. He goes on the talk shows. He said, I'm not going to go on the talk show if my offensive linemen are not there. How can you not love this man?
Yeah.
Then he played for Penn State. But still.
Just looking at this. So it's a 2-year deal, $41 million, 36 guaranteed, 20.6. He earns a base salary of $1.1 million, a signing bonus of $15 million, and a workout bonus of $250,000, while carrying a cap hit of $6.6 million and a dead cap value of $45.9 million. So the initial contract was 3 years.
Okay.
So that would take him to 2026.
Right.
Then it's 27 and 28. The cap hit in 2027 is 12.8. 28 is 17.1. Now you can renegotiate that as well, but also think about it this way. $20 million in 2028 won't be as bad as $20 million this year.
True.
So it's kind of like that Bryce Harper deal where every year was $25 million,
right,
for the most part. Well, that following year, that contract, when he signed that contract, that $25 million will seem like 10.
Yeah.
Because, value of the dollar and everything like that. But I'm still saying there's going to be a bubble burst with the salaries and stuff in Major League Baseball. But that's just me. But let's see. Some of the other things that are here. Najee Harris goes from Pittsburgh to the Chargers. 1 year, $9.25 million. They pay way too much for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's averaging just 3.9 yards per carry in a Steelers career. Well, might get a little bit of improvement if you think about it because of the way that Harbaugh plays ball.
True.
George Kittle kept it short but sweet in reaction when Juszczyk, and they announced that Juszczyk was going to get released. He had a heartbreak emoji and a juice box because Juszczyk's um, nickname is the Juice.
Okay.
Is Juice, not the Juice.
Oh, juice. Gotcha.
Uh, if something else happens, we'll go from there. Um, so that's everything in a nutshell with that. I did see some people teasing Asante Samuel Jr. come to the Eagles, but he's still a free agent right now. I had to figure out why some people on my Facebook and Twitter pages were uh, pointing him out, but it is what it is. Um, so we did talk about the NFL tampering period, daily savings times. Um, well, let's add this one thing here. Garrett Cole, the Yankees ace, he is getting Johnny Tom surgery. I mean, Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
So probably needed it last year. So he'll undergo surgery. I think it's going to be tomorrow. So it's going to end his 2025 season. Another blow for the defending AL champs. He'll miss 2025, at least part of 26. The decision was made after seeking a second opinion for Dr. Neil Elatrash, who is the new Dr. Job.
Okay.
He did Bryce Harper's elbow.
Okay.
In 2 games, Cole gave up 7 runs across 6 innings. He gave up 6 runs on 5 hits, including 2 home runs over 2 2/3 against the Twins. He said he felt an alarming amount of pain into Friday morning, prompting him to notify his team and undergo imaging tests, which revealed the torn UCL. So, but they still have, Luis Heel, the AL Rookie of the Year, he's out with the lat strain. He's expected to be out 3 months. They signed Max Fried in the offseason.
Yes, they did.
Carlos Rodon's there. Clark
Yep.
Schmidt.
Yep.
Marcus Stroman, who was notably not expected to make the opening day rotation, is expected to slide into the 4-hole, with Will Warren, a rookie who made his debut last season, and Carlos Carrasco, soon to be 38-year-old veteran in camp, as a non-roster invitee, is the leading internal candidates rounding out the quintet. So
they have arms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They could also offer a free agent, Kyle Gibson, the former Philly,
Mm-hmm.
and Lance Lynn are those available, or they could swing a trade here. So Cole had signed a 9-year, $324 million deal with a no trade clause in December 2019. If you remember, Cole exercised the opt-out after the 23 season, I think it was. He opted out but never became a free agent, didn't receive an extra year. Instead, the 2 sides agreed to continue as if Cole didn't opt out 2 days later, keeping him under contract through 2028 at $36 million a year.
Wow.
But the Yankees do have insurance on Cole's contract, so he will be able to recoup some of that money.
Oh, good.
So Garrett Cole is out for the year. And things will get interesting in the Bronx because they can hit like crazy. It's just that they may not be able to pitch like crazy.
That is exactly right. 11 to 10, 13, 12.
Mm-hmm. One other thing here before we get to the not quite stupid stuff I saw, but the stupid stuff that everybody saw. Are you familiar with the way the NCAA screws schools out of playing postseason ball if they're transitioning from a lower level of the NCAA to Division One?
I am not familiar with that.
Okay,
Do tell, my friend. Do tell.
so a couple of times over the last couple of years, teams have actually won the conference and could not accept the bid because they were in a transition period. Now, I think this has happened twice already where a team has made it to the finals.
Okay.
But the one that I'm citing here because I don't remember who the other team was. But St. Thomas of Minnesota. Now, they didn't go from Division 2 to Division 1. They went from Division 3 to Division 1.
Jeez.
Now, the reason why they made that jump from 3 to 1,
Mm-hmm.
part of it was because they were so good athletically in their Division 3 conference, whichever one it is,
Right.
they got kicked out of the conference.
Wow.
Think of it as a racehorse trainer who's winning at 30, 40, 50% consistently.
Yeah.
It's like red flag, red flag, red flag. What's he doing? All right, you're winning too much. Get the fuck out of here. So they ended up going to Division 1. They could have gone to Division 2. I guess when you look at all the options, you also look at, well, if we go to Division 1, what conference would we be in? They're in the Summit League. And there's another. There was another school that got to a conference. I'd have to look on X. I don't feel like doing that.
Okay.
But I shared something because somebody was a couple minutes away and they could have won and blah blah blah. But so for a 4 or 5 year period, you are ineligible for an NCAA postseason tourney because you're in that transition period.
That's really bogus. Now,
Part of the reason why, and I understand why from the NCAA standpoint, it's like, well, we're going to go Division 1 for 2 years, and we don't like being with the big boys, even though we're in this little itty bitty conference. Let's go back to Division 2. So, but once you go Division 1, you usually stay Division 1.
Yeah, you do.
Like once in a while, you see a Division 1 school leave Division 1. Like for example, St. Francis of New York,
Mm-hmm.
which was, I forget what borough they're in. Were they in Queens or Brooklyn? But either way, they dropped all athletic sports. University of Hartford,
Right.
they saw it. They were citing losses in the athletic program and all that. They dropped from Division 1 to Division 3.
Wow.
And sometimes you see teams going down to Division 1, Division 2. Like Pork Chop, welcome in. Hope you're doing well out there. You have teams like, I think many years ago, Hardin Simmons went from Division 1 all the way down to Division 3 or even NAIA. But it is rare that you see a team do that, but not in that transition period.
Right.
But for whatever reason, they do not allow those teams to play for a national championship. Or if you do get in, you're going to have to get an at-large, and since they're a small conference, this is what we think of you.
Yeah.
So, but the Tommies, the debate ended as the Raging Paytons of Omaha. Get it?
Got it. Omaha.
They get the automatic berth as they defeated the Tommies of St. Thomas 85-75. By the way, I did put a wager on St. Thomas the other night.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, it was a $5 no sweat bet. Well, I went to bed and I saw that they were down like 10 early on. I said,
Right.
I guess I'm getting my $5 back. And
Right.
here they ended up winning by 18.
Winner, chicken dinner.
And then I blew it all the next day.
Of course.
It was on Saturday because I put money in my FanDuel account
Mm-hmm.
because FanDuel has the no sweat bets.
Right.
So I was taking advantage of the no sweat bets for the 2 races before the Tampa Bay Derby, which were $10 money back guarantees.
Okay.
One I got a money back, the other one still running, I think. I didn't even see the race because I was at the casino at the time. Yeah, that little thing where I decided, the genius that I am, let's go to the DMV at 2:30 in the afternoon. Well, we're pulling into the mall, and the DMV is across the street there. They're lined up out the door and everything because of the real ID shit. I said, fuck this. I'm going to the casino. And then I walked over to the track. And then I realized Parks didn't have live racing, so I couldn't stalk some person in particular. Did I say that? Sorry.
You did what? I didn't hear you.
Nah. If that person understood my sense of humor, I think she'd be like, ha 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 ha. But I'm not that type of a person. But I encourage the women to stalk me if you're not totally fucking head. But I totally lost my. Yes, I went. I was watching. I ended up going to the casino for about an hour or two. Got something to eat. And lost enough that I can survive. Then I came back and didn't realize how cold it got
Yeah.
because I didn't get back till like 8:00.
Yeah.
Or whatever time it was. I don't remember. 7:30. But had the money back guarantee. I still had some money left over. Let me play the Tommies because I figured they were playing North Dakota that night.
Right.
And one of the guys from North Dakota put up 50-some points the night before.
I saw that, yeah.
I was like, no way he's putting up 50 again. I'll take the Tommies. And the Tommies did win, but they didn't win the conference, even though they wouldn't have gotten the bid. But who knows what would have happened if the Tommies had won, because I think they have, since Omaha got to the finals, the Raging Paytons get to go.
Yeah.
Or the Raging Farheads, or 5 heads, 6 heads, 7 head.
I think that's their nickname.
Now I'm a 5 head too. So.
Right. Yeah.
But, but Omaha's in there. So far, just trying to see here. It looks like Pepperdine's magic run's about to end. They were on fire last night like Pacific Palisades was in January. Oops, too soon?
Oh. Maybe a week too soon, yeah. I'm trying to see who let's see, Wofford gets into the dance. Troy wins the Sun Belt in that tournament that made no sense with the bracketing. Not sure if you saw, I showed the bracket on Wednesday. I think I did.
Basically, if you were the 13 or the 14 seed,
yeah,
you had to win 7 games to win the tourney. 7 games in 7 days. Well, and these are not big conferences. They must have gotten a sweetheart deal with the arena.
Right.
Because you do have to pay renter's fees for those 7 days that you're actually contesting this tournament. And then probably a day or two before, because, you got to give the teams an opportunity to practice on the court too.
Yep.
So, it made no sense that, the WCC is doing the same thing where they protect Gonzaga and whoever won the conference. Was it St. Mary's?
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry?
Was it St. Mary's?
Yeah, I think so. So those 2 schools are the top 2 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the semifinals automatically. You know, it's just I just don't like these gimmick brackets. Just give me a regular bracket, 1 versus 16, 8 versus 9, like we'll see come tournament time.
Yes, we will.
You know, now I understand why you have a double bye when you have 15 teams in your conference
Mm-hmm.
because you can only really host 4 games in a day,
Right.
unless of course you have 2 arenas for the first day, if you really wanted to do that. But I don't think you want to have 2 different. You didn't want to have one eye on one game and one guy on the other, unless you're Steve Buscemi in that one movie that I use for my default pick on here. Was it Little Nicky that he gets cross-eyed, reverse cross-eyed, and starts looking in opposite directions?
Happy Gilmore, not Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, now I gotta look it up. Damn it! And if Pork Chop knows what movie I'm talking about, feel free to chime in. Steve Buscemi.
Deeds, Mr. Deeds.
Was it Mr. Deeds?
Was it Deeds? Because he did that because he was delivering pizza and he was looking on one side, the other side. He might have did that in the other one, but he did that in Deeds.
Yeah, Mr. Okay, yeah, you beat me to it by about 5 seconds.
Ah.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can get a half decent picture of him here. So, if I'm calling on from somebody's iPhone, this is the picture you get from yours truly. Something to this effect.
That's the picture too. That's the picture. Oh,
something similar to that because I like to mess with people and maybe I don't know.
Steve Buscemi, yeah.
Maybe I need to be more professional with my phone, but it is what it is. So. So that's that is stuff that comes up every now and then, and just our minds at work here. So, just to let you know, Pork Chop, when the two of us together, we're really fucked in the head even more than usual. So,
yeah.
So that's why I have him here on Monday nights and only Monday nights because I think I'd be thrown off at Twitch and everywhere else if I did it all 4 nights a week.
Ooh.
But this isn't necessarily the stupid shit that I saw segment, but I kind of saw it in passing on Facebook today, and Mike probably saw it on the news today. But apparently today or this weekend, track became a contact sport. And I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to end up showing this. You're going to see George Stephanopoulos' ugly mug. And here, it starts out with the death investigation, but I think it's just just transitioning to the next story here. So here we go.
Turned now to an attack during a high school track and field relay race. One runner hit another in the head with a baton. Janae Norman here with the story. Good morning, Janae.
Hey, George, this is a crazy video that you have to see. It's unimaginable, unsportsmanlike conduct on the track. This morning, a high school track star is still recovering nearly a week after being hit on the head by another runner during a race.
Junior Kaylin Tucker was running the second leg of the 4x200 relay in the Virginia State High School League Championships when the shocking incident happened.
That's when she hit me with the baton.
Watch again as you see the two sprinters running side by side as they round the corner with Kaylin on the outside, Kaylin's mother cheering her on. Just as Kaylin is passing the other runner, the athlete swings her baton, striking Kaylin.
I just felt a bang on my head and then I fell off the track immediately.
Kaylin dropping her baton and reaching for her head.
The whole Coliseum pretty much gasped. I just jumped up out of the bleachers immediately and ran to her on the main floor.
The 16-year-old was later diagnosed with a concussion. The family says neither the athlete who struck Kaylin nor the other team's coaches checked on Kaylin or reached out afterwards.
To see that they kept running and she not stop and check on my daughter, that was the part where I was like, it couldn't have been an accident.
The other runner, who attends IC Norcom High School, has not been named. Kaylin's parents say Norcom's athletic director and the girl's father apologized in a phone call, but they're still waiting for the opposing athlete and her coaches to reach out.
We definitely want the coaches and a personal apology from the actual athlete as well, because it's only right.
The Virginia High School League saying in a statement, "We thoroughly review every instance like this," adding, "The VHSL membership has always made it a priority to provide student athletes with a safe environment for competition."
Meanwhile, Kaylin's parents say that they're still waiting to see what disciplinary actions will be taken against the other athlete before deciding their next steps. In the meantime, guys, because Kaylin's been recovering for a week, they're hoping that she can finally return to school today.
Oh, I hope
because
so
she's been
too.
out recovering.
Yeah, exactly. But glad she's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Crazy stuff there. And, I mean, I don't know what to make of it. Bank Boy, welcome in. Hope you're doing well out there. And I think Bank Boy caught part of that story because apparently track and field is now a contact sport, and little did we know, she decided to go, "Oh, you're not passing me." Whoopsh. So,
That's too wild.
yeah, I mean, the kid missed a week of school.
Yeah.
We think she went back today. Whether she did or not, not for me to know, but that girl should get banned for competing. I agree, and hard enough to give her a concussion is crazy. But I think that those batons are fairly heavy. See, the only track team I was on was called the 234 track team in high school, which basically means when the final bell goes off at 234, we're out the door.
Okay.
I mean, we barely stop at our lockers to get our homework in our bags and stuff like that. I mean, we were out the door. Boom. Because we wanted to get the hell home. But, I mean, that was definitely something that, the one question I have is, were these two schools rivals? Because if you have two rival schools, I could see that potentially happening, especially if the two teams are talking shit to each other.
Right.
But if these are just two random schools, then she definitely needs to get banned.
Yeah.
And hopefully she is a senior where she doesn't get to run in outdoor season.
Yeah.
Because that's the culmination of the indoor season. Because, they were at Liberty University. Or as we sometimes call it, Libbity Bibbity University. But, that was, when I shared it on Facebook, only because if you're friends with me on Facebook, I will warn you. I tend to share a lot of goofy stuff on there because of the fact that it's my mechanism on some nights where it's just so that I have something to look back on planning stuff for the night. But this was definitely something that even if we weren't mentioning it tonight, that definitely would have been something worth sharing because somebody decided it's time to play the feud. Hey, it's almost baseball season. But hopefully she's banned, and we don't know who the student was, but that did the swinging. But I would imagine that would be. I would imagine that would be an automatic disqualification or
It has
something.
to be something, yeah.
Something has to.
Because it was uncalled for. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's uncalled for.
Yeah, I mean, And I think what's going to happen is you may eventually see, well, they were taunting me and blah 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 and whatever. Well, that's part of competition. Sometimes you have to talk shit, you know. But in the end, it's put up or shut up. But
Yeah,
I think they said in the video that was the second leg.
yeah, I think so.
So it wasn't even the final leg where, okay, well, this bitch is passing me for second place. I don't think so. I mean, even though it's uncalled for, no matter if it's first, second, third, or fourth leg, I kind of expected more on the final leg.
That's when you think you will see it. Yeah.
I would expect it on the final leg because guess what? You're actually going from a silver to a bronze, and from silver to bronze to
I like go.
silver to bronze to I participated.
Not the participation trophy.
But,
Not
yeah.
that one.
But, that's definitely something that they did there. And it just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Damn it.
What you do now?
I'm looking for something else because I know something else happened. Um,
Found it?
no, but I found interesting what they are doing here. No, but there was also another incident that came up that's worth mentioning. So, Meadville High School was playing at home against Uniontown.
Okay.
Let me get the right one here. Get rid of that one. We're going to use this Fox News one. So, this is a time of the year in high school basketball in Pennsylvania where they're playing for the state title. And in the state of Pennsylvania, we have 6 divisions from 1A all the way to 6A. And by the way, the Prep had a chance to get into the state tournament if they had beaten Father Judge. Father Judge blitzed them. They beat Roman Catholic. They got the top seed. Roman got the third bid. Prep was out. But Prep was the number 1 seed in the Catholic League tournament. But this was Western Pennsylvania. Meadville's near Erie. So there was a brawl. And let me just check one thing here. Man, I was hoping to go right to the video. So we're getting closer to this here. So this was Meadville and Uniontown. They played in Meadville. I think I have this close to where the incident occurs. So I'm going to share my screen again. And let me see here. Let me go here. And this is near the end of the game. There's about a minute and a half left, I think. And we'll let this play out a little bit. Hopefully I don't get flagged for this. If I do, oh well.
It's dark on the side.
You're going to make me walk over there, ain't you?
I didn't know whether they were able to see it. Because you just played the other one. Because I don't know if they saw it, you know.
All right, let me try something here. Let's try this again.
There it is.
All right. So I might have hit the wrong tab there, and of course, because the video is coming up wonky on my laptop tonight, so I can't really watch it. I'm only watching for the chat. So this is in the area where the incident occurs, and I don't glorify this, but I think we won't have that much action, but you'll see the action away from the court in a couple of seconds. Here we go.
For and maybe he got in the ref's ear a little bit, because guess what? Calvin's going to go out now. You're right, with 3:19, so they're going to bring Kiefer back in.
It's important for everybody out there, especially on the Uniontown side, since they're down 8. Play some heady ball right now, and a nice little poke there from Milsom, forcing the turnover. And now you're going to have Burchard pick up his 4th personal foul here on the Meadville side.
Uh-oh, and a technical on who?
Technical foul called, and we're talking about keeping your cool here, Tony. That was Don Q. Who was the technical called on?
I don't know. I'm trying to wait and see here. I mean, what are you going to call?
It appears
they
keep
took
an
the
eye
ball.
to the right-hand side behind the
took it back.
home
I
team
mean, they laid it up and in. They
Correct.
didn't slam it or anything, so I'm not sure what they're going to call. And hopefully they can wave this off.
They showed a 5 there, and the only 5 on the floor is Butler on the Meadville side, but now they might foul out Milsom.
I don't get that at all.
Haven't posted anything yet. Again, we're on the opposite side of the scores table.
Well, the
Some of the
Uniontown
fans are going after the officials here a little bit. You might have some ejections here. And some of the Uniontown fans.
Okay, so I think it's starting it up here.
Okay.
They call the technical on Milsom.
And I don't understand that at all.
So Milsom fouls out after scoring 17 here at the 3:12 mark of the 4th. So Uniontown has lost both Winfrey and Milsom. And Milsom played a heck of a game for the Red Raiders tonight. He laid it all out there for sure.
But I'll tell you, it's not like he went down and slammed.
Okay, so it's in the next few seconds here. You'll see. Keep an eye on the right-hand side, the home team bench, behind the home team bench.
Okay.
I mean,
I agree.
He laid the ball up, and that was it. So now you're going to have Ellsworth shooting.
Those would be the personal fouls. I think that was the 5th personal foul. Now what do we got?
Get him out of the way.
We're going to have
There's another foul by.
No, you got some fans coming over on the bench here, and I don't know where these fans are from, but they came over and started something behind the Meadville bench, and now you're getting fans removed from the game.
Well, you're going to get fans removed from the game, and the other thing too was, and Grooms was actually. And here we go.
This is getting really heated here in the stands.
And here we go.
Really heated in the stands, and now you got an all-out fight. You got an all-out fight in the stands right now, and this is getting ugly.
Yes, it is.
This is getting ugly, and not what you want to see for a high school basketball game.
Yeah, this is not what you want to see.
And now you got players getting into it. And now, This is getting really bad. This is getting really bad on both sides. And you got still people coming loose here on the court. What is going on and what is wrong with these people? I would not be surprised, Tony, if they just, you got players all around trying to fight. And this is absolutely crazy. And honestly, both of these schools, Tony, you cannot have this going on. I know it's heated. And I just mentioned before this whole thing started This is not something you want to see at a high school basketball game, and you got to keep your cool.
Yeah, this was.
I would not be surprised if the game gets suspended and not resumed, and Meadville's declared the winner.
I don't know what you do in this situation. I mean, here's the other thing you do: get everybody out of the gym and finish.
Yeah, I'd play with an empty gym for the final 3:12.
Well, but in the meantime, you also had Grooms with a technical.
I mean, to me personally, Tony, we've been in a lot of situations. I've never seen anything this ugly break out.
I can't say I have either, Brian, and it's
in person.
Yeah, it's.
And we had an incident last year at South Allegheny, but I mean this was really a shame.
Yeah, I really don't even know what to say, to be honest with you.
Okay, so at that point, they suspended the game.
Okay.
Meadville was declared the winner, 63-55, wherever the score was.
Right.
So the article that I have is from Fox News. PA high school game with brawl in the bleachers ended with arrests this past Friday night. Go back over here. The game between Uniontown and Meadville High Schools got physical, but not with the players on the court. Rather, it was the parents in the stands. At least 2 adult men were seen throwing punches, which led to quite the scene. Video circulating online of the incident, and of course, because they were broadcasting on YouTube, appears to show the coaches and referees moving both teams to their benches in the fourth quarter. Then cameras quickly shift to 2 men throwing punches each in the stands, which we saw with many trying to break it up.
Right.
And we heard the announcer saying he'd never seen anything this ugly break out in person. Man who appeared to initiate the brawl was wearing a white jersey, and cameras caught him exiting his spot in the bleachers, walking down to the court and going to the other side behind Meadville to confront someone. That's when things turned ugly. Okay, so I guess what happened here is because the way that the arena looks, because there was one door where the visiting bench was,
Right.
Uniontown.
Right.
So I think I'm guessing here from what I'm seeing, because this is the first time I saw an extended there. Yeah, and good grief, shameful behavior from what I assume are parents. I'm guessing what happens is the way that arena is set up, and most high school arenas are like this, and the prep is set up the same way for the most part, but you do have a second way that you can get in and out of the arena.
Okay.
At the prep. But for the most part, it's one way in, one way out. Because, this isn't like Indiana where you got 5, 6, 7, 8,000 seat arenas.
Right.
Or whatever they have in Indiana. So that you're barely fitting about 500 people in there. And it's a playoff game, and you got cheap calls. And we just saw the one segment. We didn't watch the whole game. The whole game's available on YouTube because it was sent by the NFHS, which is the national network, online network that covers high school games.
Mm-hmm.
So it was called with 3:12 left. Fans were fighting, then players got involved. A Meadville player chased after a fan who appeared to provoke him near where the initial brawl was, sent him flying down onto the court. Both benches looked like they were going to brawl before coaches quickly sent them to the locker room. The altercations eventually dissipated and probably continued outside. But TMC Sports learned that Meadville police said that they intend to be charging several fans and players, most likely with disorderly conduct. So Meadville was leading 63-55. It was declared a final at that point. However, when you go to the bracket here,
Yeah.
and I'm going to pull that up so you can actually see this here. And yes, I'm getting to it. Hold on. And I think this is a bylaw thing. That matchup is a double forfeit.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So Hershey gets a bye in the second round and is now in the quarterfinals.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So Meadville got screwed.
Well, and I'm sure there's bylaws with all different, sportsmanship rules and stuff like that. But hey, F around and find out. They both F the round.
Yep, they found out.
And okay, and here's an update from Pork Chop here. Also, just saw an article about the track baton incident. The offending girl said she lost her balance and was pumping her arms. Bullshit.
Bullshit. Excuse me. Something in my
Bullshit.
nose too.
Because
Yeah.
guess what?
Yeah.
She went Carlos Alcaraz on her.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, that's the top tennis player, right? Yeah, utter bullshit, yes.
Poor child.
So yeah, it was a bullshit, that's a bullshit thing. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's some rule in the PIAA rule book where if something like that were to happen, they do have the option of making it a double forfeit, and good for the state of Pennsylvania for doing that.
Yeah.
But Hershey gets a bit of a break here.
Yes, they do.
They get the winner of West York and Peters Township in the 5A third round quarterfinals. Or West York and Peters Township playing the second round at Altoona High School. And if West York were to win that, that's a battle between two district teams. So, but they wanted to mess around. Well,
yes, they did.
Both teams are done, and probably what happened was, and I'm guessing here because I don't know what happened. Probably one of the Meadville fans probably said, "Get the out of here." He said, "Yeah, fuck you," and then things got heated up.
Got out of hand.
Because they said there was an incident last year too. But nothing to this extreme. But it's an extreme situation when both teams end up taking a double forfeit.
Yep.
But that's another incident. I saw that the other day because that was a Friday night game.
Right.
So they I mean, good for the PIAA for doing something like that. So
State of Pennsylvania, okay.
That's a governing body for the state tournament, and just looking at something here. I'm just looking at the 6A because Father Judge won. Imhotep actually beat Judge. So they're 12-1, Judge is 12-2, Roman Catholics 12-3. All three teams advanced.
Okay.
Actually, Roman had to go to Lower Merion and beat them there.
Oh, wow.
But anyways, who cares? Yeah, I know. Who really cares about high school basketball other than the fact that, the PIAA did the right thing and told both those schools, you go.
Yeah.
So
they did do the right thing.
Yeah. So let me let this scroll go through here. Just make sure we didn't miss anything. I think we got everything here because we talked about daylight saving time and how, the bullshit that's losing an hour's sleep when you don't. The tampering period, we went through that for about 45 minutes. Track and field becomes a contact sport. Yeah, we also talk additional high school stuff. So couple of minor moves here that came up in the NFL, but nothing worth mentioning on the NFL free agency trade market update thing that they have here on Fox, on ESPN. So nothing really worth mentioning there. So you know what? I might as well. You know what? Well, first of all, Penn Hoops coach Steve Donahue's out at Penn.
I think I saw something like that.
Yeah, he went 8-19 this year, 4-10 the Ivy.
Yeah.
me see something here. So we have one game left here tonight. And you know what? I'm going to pass. Gonzaga shoots too well from the field. They're shooting over 50% from the floor.
Oh.
I was going to say San Francisco plus 14.5, but we'll not do the Philly favorite tonight. Maybe tomorrow night I'll look at a game or two from Wednesday.
Okay.
But because I'm itching to bring it back. I'm itching. I'm scratching. I need some lotion.
Oh.
But so that's it for now. Mike, thank you so much. Pork Chop, Bank Boy, everybody else that's watching here. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9:00. Also, I might as well mention this as well. Also eligible Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I announced on the big show with Bleacher Brothers that we will be covering Colonial Downs. They had the Virginia Derby and the Virginia Oaks this weekend. 50-point races for the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby. It's a boutique meet. It's only a 3-day meet that they're having just so that they can have that big day on Saturday, which doesn't really impress me that much except for those 2 races. So we'll talk those 2 races. I might throw something else in as well next Saturday beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the Bleacher Brothers platform. So that's it. Mike, thank you once again.
You're
Pork
welcome.
Chop, Bank Boy, our spammer, and everybody else who's watching, who may be watching on X, on YouTube, wherever. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. And we'll do it live tomorrow night. Mike will do it live next Monday night here. And I guess I'll see you in the winner's circle. Good night, everybody.